If you are in the crypto market and you're asking this question, are we in a bull market? Can we continue this run to the upside, or this is just a fake out? Some people do think like that in this market. But when you zoom out and look at the price action, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's XRP, what do you see? History is playing itself again and again. Whether it's XRP, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's XLM, whether it's Ether, you look at a lot of these assets and you get one thing in common. History is repeating, and that's exactly why you're watching a lot of these assets are bursting. They're actually doing real big numbers. Now, this asset actually went up 70% for the day and came back down to this range. So if you're looking at that, there was a lot of opportunity. It was popping. Now, we had our targets. It was like a 100% target. We met our targets, and that was really quick in just 5 days. Why? Because the market is showing you this on the macro. And if you want more, think about this. When you actually have SEC screwing one of the biggest exchanges in US, you are watching BNB doing great. So the market is now maturing in that sense. I'm looking at this in a way like, okay, SEC just screwed Kraken and Binance Coin is moving up. So that does seem like the competitor action. See, if you see EV maker going down, which one has a bigger market cap or a lot of competition, the other guy will go up. That's how the market works. And this shows crypto market is being institutionalized and the future looks bright. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We are going through a lot of this right now, saying this was posted before, just like this. Now it's hitting our target. So one by one, we are watching a lot of these evolving through that season. We are watching how the market is reacting. So if you do follow me on Twitter, you already know what we are going through. We're literally getting a lot of this. Say, earlier today when scale was popping, I kind of highlighted this fact. Watch, the market is doing something which it has done historically for sure. But if you do understand the fact that, okay, you can take benefit of that, it gives you an advantage in the market. And that's what we are trying to do. We want to understand when the market is showing us. Here, dollar is breaking. It's a monthly chart, huh? Dollar is breaking 21-day moving average to the downside. So historically, if you count all these times when it actually have done this inside the pattern I'm highlighting, but even before that, if you note, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the 5 times you had negative momentum. One time, yes, you came back to retest and got rejected. However, all the other times here, the 4 times, the market went lower in terms of dollar. So dollar is going down, and on the other aisle, you're watching that gold is going up. So the demand for the safe haven asset is increasing. Dollar is slowing down. Risk on assets are taking off. The trend is to the upside. This is XRP. It's still inside the same pattern which we discussed last time. And note what has changed. The RSI and the price structure is now slowly turning to shift. So what are we looking at? If you do plot this, you're now watching that this previous support is now turning in as a resistance. You're trying to break that. We need to see the RSI on a 4-hour chart, which is a short-term chart for sure, breaking the 55 range. So when the RSI goes above 50, we say it's bulls increasing, which is good. Now we'll say, okay, bulls are trying to come back up, or bears are taking the control over. That's what's happening now on a short-term chart. But if you do zoom a little bit out in XRP terms and look at it on a daily chart, this is exactly what we are arguing. We are making that argument that the market is right now showing you something like this, and we want to zoom in. And okay, if the market is showing us something like that, we want to understand what exactly is happening at that support. Usually, we see that if we get something like this, it's a double bottom. What if we're getting this? So now we have a double bottom here, which is a micro level. Then you have a double bottom here, which is like a medium term level on this chart, which kind of gives you an idea that the market is trying to do reversal on a lot of different segments, and the level of manipulation is so high because it did not bounce directly when you actually got the first double bottom. Say we have seen this before. See, you got one and then you have to do another, and if you clear them off and then ask the question, okay, did I do a double bottom? The textbook double bottom came in couple of times, which made the macro double bottom like this. You broke higher and then you went up. So can we get that here? That is what we are looking for. If that comes in, that is truly interesting. Now that's on a daily chart. Now this week has just started, so we want to see how this week ends. It's going to be really important because as we just described, XRP on the macro shows you this. What is that? Historically, it has been positive. You break above the moving average on a monthly chart. It's a macro chart. You move above your 21-day moving average. That's when you see all these big fluctuations. You move above your 21-day moving average. That's when you see all these big moves with heavy volatility. Now you are at that position. So historically, if something has been true, I personally wouldn't go against it. Now, if you want to look at different parameters, it's okay. You're looking at the MACD. Okay, the MACD crossed to the upside here, and after some time, you saw the RSI moving, and that is when you saw the price moving as well. So if you plot this, you'll also agree with me on the sense like, okay, you had this level acting as a support, and then that turned into a resistance. The moment you broke that, you started getting higher momentum in price, which is great. Now, where are we? We kind of tried to break that once. It was a fake out. Fine. Now, we are breaking that back up. MACD has already crossed to the upside. All of these is slowly turning positive on a monthly. So your higher time frame structure for XRP is clearly showing you something. It is suggesting you the fact that it wants to go higher. Now, you can obviously go on a 3-day chart to make your argument a little bit more confident. Say if you look at the 3-day chart, are we really breaking this thing to the downside with higher momentum? Or are we trying to bounce off from this trend line? If it's me looking at this, I would actually put the argument like, okay guys, watch this. This trend line has been active for some time. And I mean some time, right? This is valid all the way from 2020 to May. And you're watching that the price is coming back down to the same exact position which we talked before. Last 2 candles, we're trying to bounce off. We're trying to get a support on that range and bounce off. So if this is taken in line with the macro, the monthly chart, that shows this month or next month we are starting something good. But what you do want to consider is where the monthly and the weekly RSI is at. Say the weekly is still here. You want to see this bouncing and getting into this region, and that is where I would personally expect some bombardment in the price. And it would actually look like this. You go up, you come back down, then you pop. This is what we are watching for. Great. On a weekly, that is the scenario. Now, if you go on a monthly, you are now at a level which is so important. It's a critical level in my humble opinion. If you do get a bounce from there and you break this level in terms of the strength, it's just 58 in the monthly. You have been at 9,500, so it's not a big deal here. Last time, the 2021 high, without all these exchanges, it's 74. Now remember this, when SEC is going to screw all these guys again, they're not naming XRP or Ether there. And maybe that is one of the reasons why we are watching Ether showing you this signal. Now, I don't really like this asset, but it's not about me. It's about the market. If the market likes that, now I'm like, okay, I'm wrong. Some way I'm wrong. I'm looking at the market and watching what the market has done before. what it is trying to do right now. If all of these factors align with each other, then the results would look somewhat similar. And all of those run up happened during a time when the altcoins were exploding. Watch this for a moment. Last time when Ether moved up from here around $200 all the way up to 4,700, we did take our profits. That's for a different reason. We took our profits all the way up. We didn't get the exact top or somewhere close to the top. We came somewhat like here, around 3,400, 3,500, we were taking profits. But the idea here is to say during that time when Ether did really good, it's not bad to ride a huge 20x rally here, but you actually saw a lot of assets, small cap obviously, doing 100, 200, 500x run up. That was monumental. We all have to agree on that point, which means I am personally looking at assets which are going to do 30, 40, 50, 100x like nuts. I really think that's coming in the market. While going through this, when I'm posting all this for you guys, now we have a lot of members, 700 plus members are watching this and they are taking benefit of what's happening in the market. They now know the targets, the macro, the micro, what to look for, right? So at that point, you need to understand there would still be people who are going to take the profits at the right time. They'll post it in the social media. Maybe you'll miss the top and what happens is, say, when you take profit at this range, you will get screwed by others on social media saying, that's so early. Don't do it now. But yeah, obviously in a few months, the time will show you that you did something great. But again, keep your eyes focused on what happened in history. That leads you to the future. Because if you don't know where we came from and where we are now, you won't appreciate where we are going. That's a big thing in the price action. That's a huge thing. If you look at XRP and put the argument, we were close to 0.3 and the bottom was like 0.25. If you put that long candlesticks, you will understand we were at around 0.28 for some time. Now we are at 0.61. So if you do understand that as a fact, you are like, okay, if I'm in a bank, I wouldn't get this, 100% return over last 1 year. But again, a lot of other cryptos went way higher than that. So you cannot actually justify that you didn't see these coming in, right? If you look at Fetch, from the bottom during this year, you're already up 10x. So that's something big. Now, we've been following that from that point. We gave you all the targets for sure. We were on it. Now, why am I taking you back to this chart? Because if you do understand this, you had a trend line resistance on a macro chart. When that broke to the upside, what came into the market? The price went up at 10x. Yes, it did consolidate for sure. Now it's breaking back higher. It's going to go nuts. Now take the same exact idea on XRP on the same horizon, a monthly chart. This is what I'm talking about. If you do break this at this level, you're going to watch the price going like crazy. While I say that, I really don't want to hype the market. What I really want you guys to understand is historically, these are the facts from the market. The final judgment is to be made by you. What I'm doing or what my job is to actually give you the best decision-making information. Once you have all this information, now you can make the best, well-educated decision in the market. And if you would like to join that as a group going through hundreds of assets so that you can prepare for the best in next 3 months, 4 months time, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below in YouTube. And if it's in Twitter, it's in the bio. So if you receive value for your time, guys, please do smash that like button. I appreciate that a lot, and it allows me as a YouTuber to grow, and it spreads the message a lot faster. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.